you about Maumel. It's such a huge case. Actually, we must be embarrassed that cars are taken, houses are paraded, and all of that. There's no criminal case. And then we ask you, when are you coming for Maumel? You say, when police are ready. That is a pure, completely pure than white corruption case of a hospital called Tembisa. Why should we be told about police when IDEC deals with those matters? It is IDEC that should have actually even developed an interest on its own that this is too huge to be left. These are the kind of cases we want. As a head of NPA that IDEC falls under, surely you should have developed an interest and said to IDEC, 680 million gone to skinny jeans, a hospital ordering skinny jeans, and a head of NPA, it doesn't matter, head of IDEC. You are the corruption buster yourself because all of them fall under you. You should be able to say, come here. What happened with this case of people buying patients skinny jeans? Because when we go to hospitals, we normally get those gowns which are open at the back. What does a patient do with a skinny jean? That should have been an issue of interest for a corruption pastor. We asking you, what are we doing up? We say, no, when police are ready, when it's ripe, then it will come to us and all of that. That's not a matter to be left to police. That's a typical example of cases that IDEC should be dealing with, not human resource. We have a case here, a big case of human resource, that a CV does not have an address or something like that. It's a criminal case.
So that was Julius Malema, guys, firing there at the head of the NPA, Shamila Batoyi, for failing to look at what was happening at the Tembisa hospital. 680 million rands was looted there, and there is not even a single criminal case that was raised by the NPA. They didn't even do any investigation, but they decide to go for General Khumalo for an HR matter, to say that General Khumalo hired this woman, her CV does not have an address, what, etc. But they fail to go to Hangwani Maumela. I mean, you look at Shamila Batoyi, previously she's the one who actually said that the NPA is actually underfunded, there's not enough money, to be investigating. But there is something called resource prioritization. With those little resources that you have, case prioritization, I think it's very important. Because how can you be spending and wasting resources and going to something and arresting General Khumalo at an airport for an HR matter, and here you have Hangwani Maumela walking free, someone buying two, three Lamborghinis with the same color. Very, very shocking there by Shamila Batoyi. You even ask her about the Phala Phala case. She doesn't even know what is going on there. She is in complete shock. So due to Shamila Batoyi, not knowing about the Phala Phala case, having no idea, about Hangwani Maumela, but quickly rushing to General Khumalo, it makes you to ask this question. And the question is that, is Shamila Batoyi, compromised or incompetent? Exactly. Is she incompetent or compromised? By incompetent, you're just looking at saying she just doesn't know what she's doing in this role. She's not good enough, for this role. She's just good maybe as a secretary or something like that. This is not the role for her. And compromised, is she one of those people that General Mkhwanazi was talking about, when Mkhwanazi was saying they were compromised? Because this committee is looking at the allegations made by General Mkhwanazi. And Mkhwanazi said there are policemen, the judiciary, the correctional services, the prosecutors, they are they who are compromised, So it makes you ask that question, to say, is Shamila Patoi falling under those who are compromised, or is she just outright incompetent? It's a very difficult question to answer definitely, because there's something about incompetence, that just mirrors someone who is compromised. So maybe you can give it the benefit of the doubt, and fall towards incompetence. But anyway, Shamila Batoy herself is retiring in January. We are in November right now, December. Then January she's retiring. So looking at her face, the way she's responding, she just doesn't care. She just doesn't care. Malema can shout all that he wants, but Batoy herself, just doesn't care. But there is one thing, is that if she is fired, she may fail to get her pension. So it's something, that I feel like the ad hoc committee has to look at. And to look at, I mean, and really answer that question, in terms of incompetence versus being compromised. Because we can continue, to waste state resources paying pension for someone who was compromised. If she was incompetent, then she gets the benefit of the doubt, and passes and goes on. It is what it is, there was poor recruitment occurring. So you have to look at your job description, Shamila Patoy's job description. What does it say? What does it really say? Because it seems as if she is just like those two deputies in the police ministry, who just do not know why they are there in that position. Like they're just there to get a salary, that's all. So there is one thing interesting, with regards to the head of the NPA, and it is that she is appointed by Ramaphosa himself. So researching this question, as to who appointed her to the head of the NPA position, you would find out, that she was appointed by Ramaphosa. So if there is anyone to blame, it's to go to Ramaphosa himself, not to Batoy herself. You can't expect her to be going for files like Pala Pala, to be going for Hangwani Maumela, that's the nephew of Ramaphosa. So on seeing the response to this question, I no longer feel like she is incompetent nor compromised. I no longer put her in any of those categories. If anything, it's like she was just, what can I say, more like a placeholder being there, but she was appointed by Ramaphosa. You can't expect her to go and attack Ramaphosa like that. It is what it is. So if anything, the ad hoc committee should be calling Ramaphosa to be answering these questions. I'll catch you guys on the next one.